actually, my kid's father, he contacted them or
The mediation
the
center.
mediation center about it, and
Okay.
they contacted me and asked me would I be interested in being involved in it.
Okay.
Would I, want to do it? And I said, sure.
I was in the cell. So when I was out of the cell, and they sent some flyers through with the mail. Get the mail. I saw the mediation. I was about to come home in less than a year, so
Okay.
they said it helped you rekindle your relationship with your family and get things situated for when you come home.
Well, one of the things I thought, because our entire family, his sister, his father, me, his mom, that maybe we would hash out some things, concerns we might have as far as him coming back, and
Okay.
then making sure, his head is on right.
Okay.
And so it gave that opportunity.
Okay.
This was a good opportunity for us to talk, and then having the mediators there who were pretty much just listeners and help to kind of facilitate the conversation. I think it was a positive event for all of us.
Tell you the truth, I just wanted to get some extra visits. But once I started it, then it's like I realized it would help. I didn't expect it to be too much because it was a prison thing, but it blew my mind the fact that it did help me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like it did help when I came home. Like, they helped me get in order because I wasn't really like having too much problems with my family. Like we weren't really beefing or anything like that. But you know what I mean? Once they put up the little board and had us like looking at certain things and then figuring out certain problems. And they didn't say too much. They just let us really like figure it out, put their little input in there. So I really appreciated that because it wasn't like they was pushing or forcing anything on us.
I don't know. I really wasn't just expecting that we were gonna go over some issues that we had in the past and stuff to do with our kids because we're not in a relationship. So, that's what I was expecting.
I mean, it was basically, I didn't have any issues with him. He had some issues that was unresolved with me, that he was miscommunicated to him, or he had the wrong impression of.
Okay.
So they helped us work through that. I mean, that's my son. I wanted to reach out to him. I mean, I've been trying to reach out to him unsuccessfully, and that was another chance for me to reach out to him.
Okay. And how long had he been in jail?
I think 14 years, 15 years.
Reconnecting because he was gone for about 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So it's like, who are you now compared to who we knew?
Okay.
What's been happening between? And also, he has to see how we may have changed from before.
Wow, what I liked about it is that we actually was able to sit down and talk. Him and I was able to sit down and talk. We got to talk about stuff that happened in the past and how I felt about it and how I felt about him coming home and what, to expect out of him when he came home, and we set up, arrangements as far as our kids and what we were gonna go through and do with them and different stuff like that. I really didn't have that many challenges. It was, they provided me with transportation so that I could get there.
Okay.
So that was a big plus for me because I don't drive.
It basically pushed me towards, so when I came home, I knew exactly what I needed to do, what support I did have and what I didn't have. So it just really like outlined everything that was available to me when I came home. So.
Okay. You said it helped you clear up some things.
Yeah.
What kinds of things did you?
I mean, just some perceptions of, he was thinking that I never did anything for him. I never paid child support, and he was under the impression that his mother was supposed to give him the money. You know what I mean? So I mean, like, it's for the care of you, not you per se. So I mean, that was one of the issues, and of course, I mean, once he got incarcerated, I reached out to him before when he was younger, but he had his own set mind, his own set ways, and by me being a distant parent, not having custody of him, at that time, I think it played a key issue because I didn't have hands on, I mean? I would see him on the weekends, and I would only know what I see.
So it gave us a sense of that, just hearing him talk and how he's talking. He sounded like, a lot of sense and, from where, he was and where he is now. He's older. You're trying to get a sense of, what he's had to go through, but realizing he's not going to say but so much, even though this is supposedly a safe environment, but he's still in prison. And he's got to go back to the cell.
Right.
And so, but I thought it was, pretty positive. And as I understand it, we were the first ones doing this sort of family mediation in that facility.
And just by the program setting it up to where we had our own little space, like no police around watching us, even though we might have been on the camera, but at least they weren't right there watching us and listening and inputting what we doing. So it was like, it was real secluded. And they gave you the freedom to say what you want and work out what you had to work out.
My husband and I went initially, but then we suggested his sister should be in on this because we had to realize his little sister, well, she's not little anymore, she's in her 20s, but his sister looked up to him, and it's almost like he was her father. So the way she listened to him, so it really hurt her for him not to be here anymore. And I thought, in the house. And he had left on and off during the years. So I believe it hurt her. And in a sense, she didn't go see him a whole lot unless we were going. She didn't make as much of an effort, and I think that bothered him too. So this was a way for her to come in and explain, like, it was hurting her. She didn't want to see him like this.
Yeah, that was a emotional session. I think my sister even started crying because, just certain things between us and our family. My sister was emotional because she been going through a lot since I wasn't home. So we were talking about like certain situations she had been in, like, and I wasn't here. It wasn't
to
there
be
for
just
her.
be there for
Right,
her.
be big brother, and so she was emotional about that, and then getting into it with my parents because she'd been going through her own thing, being home with them. So it's like she needed me there for just more support and, right, you know what I mean, to talk about whatever she needed to talk about. Like God really showed me, like, once that mediation program brought us together, so we can go ahead and make plans for the future. Like, it just got me straight on that path. Like,
so it gave you
we came up with some agreements and goals, and pretty much it's been pretty good. He, like I said, he came home and he stayed. He had got married or something. Got married for a little while, and him and his wife was together. So that wasn't working out. So I offered him to come stay with me. So he finally did and got a job, and now he's got a car, and he's been productive as far as I can see. Yeah.
I was angry, but I think I just had to learn to forgive. Like I said, I will never forget it. I kind of got a better understanding of myself that I can be able to forgive and that I don't have to hold a grudge against them.
It may not have worked out at all if we wouldn't have been through mediation. Because, I mean, who knows how to handle that? You know what I mean?
Okay.